Hi guys, Marty McCarty here. I'm going to teach you guys how to make a mug for your hot cocoa. Here we go. If it helps you to start with pencil, you can absolutely start with that. We're going to start with an oval. Okay. And then I'm going to make a line on the inside of here to match this one. Might make that a little less hairy. And so I'm going to go on the inside of this. That's going to be my hot cocoa on the inside. Okay, let's start with a line out here. And another one on this side to match. Okay, and then I'm going to connect these. Now I'm going to make my handle. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to do some decorations. So I might add another line that matches this one here. I'm going to try and keep it the same width the whole way over. And I'll do another one. That would be my son in the background. Okay, now I'm going to decorate this bad boy with some patterns. You could do some straight lines. You might want to keep those a little curved, or like try to keep with the lines of your outside of your mug, because that's what's going to make it look like a turn. And then our curved mug on this side, you might want to go the other way and kind of mimic those outside lines. And then you can decorate with some patterns in there, whatever you feel. Zigzags, hearts, whatever. Okay. Oh, I almost forgot my little marshmallows. I'm going to make part of a rectangle. And then a curved line. And I'll draw another little rectangle, half of one. And a curved line. Boop. Now back here, I'm going to make my ground line, or my horizon, to make it look like it's sitting on a table. You could use a ruler if you want. Imaginary, imaginary, imaginary. Doot, doot. Imaginary line all the way through. Okay, there you go. Now you're going to take your crayon and you're going to outline. And you want to press very hard. you're gonna do some secret steam, you want the white crayon. And this is where you're gonna press really hard. And it's probably gonna be hard for you to see right now, but wait till you see it later. It's awesome. Okay, so I'm actually ready to paint, and I'm sure some of you are like, what? We're supposed to paint? I don't have any paint. And that's okay. If you don't have paint at this time, you're just going to continue coloring, and that's not a big deal. Coloring is so fun and satisfying, and I love to color. You could use marker, colored pencil, or crayon, and that is totally fine. If you do have paint at home, you're welcome to paint as well. Just wanted to give that option because it is kind of cool with the steam. This is what I'm going to use. It's just a Prang basic 8-pan watercolor set. And, you know, they sell Prang or Crayola. Both are great brands. This is an 8 little oval pan set, kind of old because we've had it at home, but this is also the kind I think we use at school, and they sell them at Target or Walmart. I am absolutely not asking you to buy any kind of paint unless you just want to, and they're usually about $1 or $2, not a big deal. I will show you guys how to do that, and sometimes kids are like, well, these things stink, and I have to admit, when I was little, I did not know how to use these the right way. A lot of times we think that just a little bit of water is going to work, and it should, but we don't understand how to activate that paint. So one thing I was going to show you is how to do the background. There's a couple different methods, and then you can decide how you want to go from there. Like I said, you absolutely do not have to use paint at all, but I will show you if you're interested. Okay, so I'll start with, I like to do warm and cool colors. Warm being colors that make me feel warm, like the sun. So your yellows, oranges, and reds. And cool colors are ones that you see like they're a little darker and cooler. So like cold water, purple, and green. Okay, so I'm going to ignore the brown and black and just stick with my main colors here. So warm and then cool. Okay, so warm like the fire and cool like water or grass. You know, your feet are cold when they touch the grass. And also, cool colors seem to go into the background, so those are good background colors, and warm colors kind of jump out at us, and they make us feel warm and toasty. And so we're going to make our hot cocoa seem warm, and our background colors be cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush. You can use any kind. There's a flat brush or a round brush. I don't have my brushes down here with me, but basically I'm going to dip my color in. Let's say I'm going to start with some water. I'm just going to dip in, and I'm going to kind of put a couple drops into my yellow, let's say, and then I'm going to stir, and I kind of stir for about, I don't know, 20 seconds or so, and I keep activating that paint. And so sometimes when we don't do that and we just use a little bit of water without stirring, it looks very see-through. And so kids don't often like these watercolor pans because they don't know how to activate or stir the paint yet. And so once you learn that you got to stir it up a little bit, you'll see that your colors will be nice and bright. So you can see that they're already bright, and I'm just going to fill in my shapes. And what's cool is that with that black crayon, it makes a great outline, but it also makes a resist because the wax from the crayon is resisting the paint. And so therefore my paint really stays in the lines well. It makes me look like an even better artist. So you got that going for you too. Boom. Okay. Another thing that's really cool and fun to do is you could do little decorations. You could take a crayon And you could add some decorations in, let's say, parts of your design. I'm kind of flattening it out by accident here, but let's say you got some cool designs or patterns in there. You could do and when you paint over them, you'll see you could even do like polka dots. Okay, now I'm going to activate my orange. Remember, just a couple drops goes a long way, and then the best thing you can do is really stir in that watercolor pan. All right, so here goes. Oh, that's really bright. But you'll see that it goes right over that crayon, and our painting's like, nope, not interested. Isn't that cool how it goes over the blue? Love it. Let's stir some of this out. We'll just make the whole thing. I think I put too much in there. Now, I normally wouldn't put these colors together, but it was kind of a warm, cool decision there. But I do like how I did do the crayon on purpose, because that bright blue against that orange really pops. And there you go. Right in top of that. Okay. Oh, you know what I forgot? Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. I forgot. I need a little more yellow. I forgot this guy back here. Now watch, you're going to see some of my magic steam happen. Remember from that white crayon? Oh, it's so exciting. Okay. Now, I'm going to do a little brown for my hot cocoa. You can see that steam really coming through now. Oh, it looks delicious. I'm going to need a hot chocolate after this. Now I'm ready for some cool colors. Now, my pointing brush won't do as well in the background, so one trick I'm going to teach you is wet on wet, and that means you get the paper wet and you put wet paint on top too. So I'm going to just water my paper. Water, water. And what's cool, this is another watercolor technique, is if you water your paper when you get that blue paint ready. Activate, activate. I actually kind of dip a little bit in there. You'll see that it'll spread much easier, so you don't get those streaks. Here comes a big one. Woo, yeah. Get in there. It's gonna look so good against that yellow. All the way. And if you get it on your table, tell your mom it'll wipe right up. It's not gonna stain anything. But that water on top of your paper really helps activate that paint so that you don't get those weird streaks. So I'll do half and half so you can see one side. And if you want to throw like another color, like a little bit of purple in, you'll see that looks kind of cool. Like you can blend so much better. It's pretty cool. Now, if you rub on your paper too much, you might get, like you'll see the fibers of the paper start to tear up, and you don't want that. So don't rub back and forth too much. Okay. Now here's what happens if you don't wet your paper first. So you'll notice it's a much different look, and then you kind of get this streak. So if you leave it there, you'll find that that's kind of hard to blend out if you leave it too long. You're gonna have to keep moving that brush back and forth. And I like both looks a lot, but that's just two ways to paint your background. But it does spread quicker and a little easier if you do wet on wet. Add a little bit of a shadow.